If your child is still working on the sounds for the 26 single letters of the alphabet, never work on the entire alphabet at once. That's simply too overwhelming. Just introduce a few letters at a time. Although it's important to work on both encoding and decoding, in the beginning just start with the alphabet song. There is some debate over what order to teach them individually. Since the song has been learned, stick with the same order and simply progress from beginning to end. The next step is to teach the sounds associated with each letter that she's audibly learned. Do this by creating an alphabet chant. Use key words that have more meaning to her specifically. For example, if she has a brother whose name starts with a short A, use that for the A. The chant goes in this order for each letter. Letter name, keyword, letter sound. Your alphabet chant would then start with A, Adam, A. You may notice that these aren't on flashcards. You'll be using flashcards, but for the little ones, make this activity more kinesthetic. Start at the end of a room, and for each letter sound correspondence she remembers, have her put one foot directly in front of the other to take a step. Her heel will be butted up against her toe. With each step, she would recite the chant for a letter. A, Adam, A, B, ball, B, and so on. As she gets better and better, she will go farther and farther across the room. Once this chant has been mastered, it won't be necessary to do a chant for the long vowels, vowel teams, digraphs, and other sounds that involve more than one letter. Do not attempt to have her master the entire alphabet audibly before you introduce the visual component. This is where the flashcards come in. When you get to the point of using flashcards, be sure to use the correct colors. Initially, as you flip through them, have her use the alphabet chant. Remember to put flashcards back in the pile if an incorrect answer is given. When that step has been mastered, move to just the sound with no letter names or keywords. Keep this approach from here on out with all different types of sounds. Probably the single most difficult consonant to master is the letter R. Don't allow your child to say for the sound. R does not say it says r. We don't pronounce the word red as red. Start the correct pronunciation from the beginning and your child won't have to unlearn the wrong way. The short vowels seem to be the easiest to confuse. If you have a little someone who needs active learning, try this activity for short vowels. Create short vowel sound sheets. Hang them on a blank wall high enough that your child needs to jump to touch them. Call out a short vowel sound and have your child run and jump to touch the correct letter as he says it. If you don't have the wall space, you can always put them on a door and it turns into a game more like whack-a-mole. Another kinesthetic activity while learning letter sound correspondences is to have your child put some of the alphabet cards in order. Add a few more when she's ready until she's able to put the entire alphabet in order. When your little reader has mastered the alphabet song and started mastering the sounds, introduce handwriting. The curriculum Handwriting Without Tears was developed by an occupational therapist who thoroughly understood the challenges of the struggling reader and the struggling writer. Since dyslexia is often accompanied by dysgraphia, this approach is well suited to these children. When your child is ready to move on from the single letters, check out the video on how to use the flashcards in the visual drill. When first starting with this activity, remove the last column and combine the long U with the double O sound. Eventually focus on the difference between these two columns. The long U column will have a slight Y sound, as in cute, cube, fume, use. The double O column will not have that Y sound, as in tube, flute, tune, assume. Once your child can differentiate between the two sounds, add the double O column back in with the rest. After your child's lesson, have her tell someone else what she learned, preferably an adult. Listen carefully to make sure her explanation makes sense and she understands what she's talking about. This will help reinforce what she has just learned.